and welcome to the first installment of our podcast, where I take you on a journey of going land surveying. Today, since it's the first podcast, I've got some video from this new little video camera, which I'm getting some more mounts for to make it easier. But today I held it in my hand and went just to the northwest part of our county to look for some original monuments, and it's kind of fun, exciting. The purpose and reason behind all this came about through a conversation on LinkedIn with some colleagues across the state of Texas, and we were discussing how there's these reality shows such as Pawn Stars, Swamp People, gosh, my son's favorite, the Duck Call People, and they promote their profession or hobbies, whatever, and it's on national TV, and now the public knows what these guys do and how much their worth is. And so I kind of took it upon myself to create this video or podcast, and hopefully we'll have future podcast installments, and we'll put them on YouTube and allow people to subscribe to it and watch and learn. It's not just for surveyors. It would be for students. It could be for the other professions such as title companies, real estate agents, even the public, consumers that have to have a land survey and don't understand what exactly they're getting. And so hopefully I'll be able to answer some of these questions. Hope that it would spark questions that you could ask me. It's not going to be just me, hopefully. Hopefully I can follow some other surveyors across the state, film them, ask them questions, and get their input as well. It's not just field work. I hope to take you on a journey through our own filing cabinets, through research, general land office, and other venues. It's not as easy as it appears. I'm stuttering through some words, but I'm going to make this as real as possible and make it to where hopefully Dennis Mullen and Ron Scherler will be proud of what I'm putting out in the survey workforce and promoting our profession. So without further delay, I will present our field work today. We're heading to a job that we have been working on for a while now. It's a vacancy in northwest Wise County, just north of Alvord, south of Sunset. Just a little bit of the reasoning why I'm starting these podcasts. We were discussing it online on LinkedIn and talking about how shows like Gold Rush and Pawn Stars and all these other reality shows of professions, and how our profession is starting to decline in popularity. It used to be that, it was people well known that were surveyors and they actually got things done. Like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, those guys turned out to be presidents. So
that we're just the guy on the side of the road, looking through the instruments. And surveying is a lot more than just, looking through an instrument. However, today, we're going to be looking for hopefully rock mounds or witness trees or something thereof to recreate this vacancy that appears to exist in records. And so, anyway, with that being said, we're going to drive out here and look for some corners that I created search points for, and we'll see if we can't find those based off of what we've already found. We're coming up on an area where we previously, a few weeks ago, found a couple of original corners up in the trees here and on this hillside, and they were protected, luckily. Most of the county roads around here went down survey lines, so a lot of the original corners are missing. Right up there on that power pole in those trees was one of the original monuments, and we found a couple more back off that way. So I'm going to put it on pause. We'll come back and hopefully we'll be out in the field looking for a corner. Whenever we do properties like this, is that we close the gates behind us. We've gotten permission to get on these properties from getting rights of entry letters and stuff like that. And the owner of this tract lives in a house over there, and his mom lives in that house over there. And we're going to go down there. They just put a pipeline through here recently, and but a lot of people around here are not liking what's going on with the production of gas and oil, pipelines, and surveyors just crossing their property whenever. So we go out and we try and get permission. Sometimes it takes a while to do that, and you can see why. I mean, there's cattle out here. They want to protect those cattle. They want to protect what's theirs. Land's the biggest asset to everybody, and this is just, one of the things that, as land surveyors, we've got to do is look out for not only our clients' best interest, but also the people around them. We're surveying the land. That's who we're working for, is the land. And so be sure, that when you're surveying that you take care of that and look after the people around here. I was going to show you what we start off with. What I'm trying to locate is some original corners of the Richard Gilliam survey. And what you see here is a working sketch that I drew out a few years back. It shows the Richard Gilliam survey. And what we have drawn here is the one that was patented on in 1872. Again, here's my working sketch that I created a couple of years ago. It has on here everything that's typically found in the field notes that are of record at the Texas General Land Office, and has special symbols that tell everything that you need to know, like point of beginning, joining calls. I also put on there passing calls. It's in Fannin District, Land District, how many acres. This was a corrected survey notes here. It was surveyed in 1872. The bearing trees are marked with a bar X bar, the Wise County abstract number. And what I want to try and do here, since I was unable to locate the original corners on this particular survey, this ends up being over there where a fence, metal post close to this area where a creek is. Same thing here, coming up this way, it called for a stone mound. and the fence in this area was bladed out and rebuilt several years ago. And here at this corner seems to be a stock tank, and along the north side of this survey, right in here, is a county road, and unable to find anything as far as corners on it. So what I like to do when I come across these things, the Richard Gilliam survey in this set of field notes that I got copies from the General Land Office, you can see that the original survey, I have a copy of the field notes in here of the original survey. This is the one that's up here by where we're at right now. And this original surveyor here was Daniel Montague, or Montague, which is the name of the county just north of us. This was surveyed by William Howarth. He was the deputy surveyor for the Cook Land District. April 11th, 1855. He marked his trees with a X, 2 bars on top, maybe a bar or 2 bars on bottom. Some of the calls are similar to the original calls. This one here begins 485 varas east of the HMA Cassidy survey. And if you remember on the plat here, here's the HMA Cassidy survey right here, and it began 485 varas from the northwest corner. That's the same call that's in the corrected field notes. But then it goes up the north line 780 varas to Stone Mound, thence east 160 varas, a stone mound from which a post oak bears south 20 west 1 vara, and then it goes north again 1,280 varas, stone mounds from which a post oak bears north 78 west 2 varas, a post oak bears south 50 west 3 varas. So somewhere along the line it changed from that to what it was patented out at north 1,213 varas, making it a straight shot. So what my hope is, somewhere 780 varas north of what I had calculated here, which I think is in a stock tank now, we should be somewhere up in here. There should be a jog. We should be able to try and find these corners or the witness trees or something thereof. Probably it had never been occupied because in 1872 it was corrected for reasons maybe found on the back of these set of field notes. Barely read it. It's written right here why they wanted a corrected set, but it does say right here, canceled by corrected field notes of 320 acres. If the beginning corner is correctly drawn or described, and the length of the last corner is correct, this survey conflicts with the Falls County school land patented, covered by Joseph Luce, file 1-1309. Can't read the rest of it, it's kind of written over, but they were asking for corrected field notes, so there was an issue with where it was actually located on the ground, and so they issued a corrected set of field notes and was patented on those, which is what is of record now. So I'll take this out in the field with me. We'll go and we'll check on our GPS. and it is up and running. Like I said, we've been working out here for a little while now, so we got some of these areas identified. We'll go from this calculated northwest corner. Alright. Now, again, a Vera is 2.78 feet. And so what I do is I take a Vera and I multiply it times 2.78 feet. And then that gets it to feet, so I hear gunshots, don't you?
Initial location has been gained.
So I can locate it with the GPS, because GPS doesn't know a Vera. So we'll get us in the area. Like I said, let's again look and see what the field notes say. North 780 Veras. Okay, so I've got on here my favorites. First one is a calculator. 780 Veras. And I like to do 0.36 divide. That's 2,167 feet from the southeast corner of this survey. Alright, so we're off. Let's shut this up. Well, first we need to go ahead and get our stuff out. Calls for a stone mound. Probably is never occupied, so it never have another piece of metal in it, even though some of the rock mounds we find today do have iron or nail, spike driven in them, so people can find them later. I do want to take my machete, because you never know if I can find my machete. There it is on. Got to put it back in the bag. Alright, and then we want to shut this up. People may be coming around. Alright. So we're at 1,100 feet. We have another 1,000 feet to go, so we gotta find a place to cross this fence. Maybe right here. We're down here. Call Jack. Try and find easy places to cross. Places where I can just step over the fence. My long legs. Not getting snagged. Down right here. Make sure no water's coming. Just kidding. This is Big Sandy. See the sand? During the wet months, it's usually got quicksand in it. Alright. Okay. My assumption is it's going to be up in that way.
I hope you enjoyed watching this first part of 2 of looking for original monuments. This kind of showed how I get everything put together when I first arrive out in the field and start to go look for corners. And I figured 20 minutes is probably a good length for watching the video, and I hope you will continue to watch for future podcasts. I'll try and get the next one out as soon as I can, and I'll have a lot more, like I said, in the future. Again, a little bit of a disclaimer. You know, every job's different. Not one job is the same as another, and we have to treat them that way. So what you see here may not be how we do a job somewhere else, and it's different for different regions. So what we do in North Texas is not the same in East Texas, Central Texas, South Texas, West Texas. You have to know the history of the land, the history of the surveyors, and understanding those help you to accomplish the land surveying that is needed. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the next one.